Welcome back, baby faces. Victor Villa here. Now let's see who's making their way to the back.
This Jeff, you heard?
Pretty chubby flaco, dímelo mi gente.
You already know. And welcome back, baby faces. How y'all doing? Welcome back to Heels, Pops, and Chairshots. We back like the measles in Brooklyn.
Oof. Damn.
Fuck
Too soon.
Think so?
Nah.
Weren't we in Brooklyn?
Fuck those hipsters. Like, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you deserved everything.
Fuck this warm ass beer.
Why'd you have warm ass beer? See, what I did was, because I'm of a higher intellect. What I did was I combined Johnny Walker over here.
No.
And he walked right into my Sprite.
You're a genius.
Tripped.
You know what else
abuse.
is genius? $20 shirts!
Ooh.
Get these $20 shirts here.
Which shirts?
Are
you talking about?
Throw a little swag in your step.
Chairshots.
Are you talking
And
about?
look like your favorite heels for a change, you know?
Those shirts.
Put some swag on your
Hell yeah,
step.
look at that. We out here getting these shirts.
Oh, getting fancy with the
Can-
graphics too. Hey,
Hell yeah.
whoa,
Can my Ecuadorians, mañaños and ñañas, get these shirts?
yeah, we all-
Ñaños and ñañas, your
Niños and
aceres,
ñañas,
your
all that.
tigres, all of them.
Los vatos.
Los vatos, los patos.
Even
Los
los
culicagados,
all of
everybody
them.
could get their shit.
How about
$20.
CM Punk? Can CM Punk get it?
$20. Yo, CM Punk could get it.
Hey, the shirt, right?
The shirt.
Right,
Whoa,
he can
whoa.
get the shirt.
Go to
Pause,
sleep.
pause.
Time out. Nah, but I mean, I'm sure he likes to, wear other clothing that, make him look discreet, more modern, more
Listen,
blending, right?
we're blending.
We're blending.
We're blending. No, man, there's no way that CM Punk came back like that. That's not how he's coming back. Like, he's not coming back in like some fucking
So let's talk about it.
as indie
CM
show.
Punk shows up in a mask at an indie show. What was it, Pretty Chubby? Do you remember the last night it was called?
It's called the
MKE?
Wrestling's Last Night.
Right. Allegedly he's
MKE's
wearing
wrestling,
a mask, jumps in and hits his go to sleep and then books it, and nobody noticed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody knew the fuck.
Nobody knew who the fuck it was.
Apparently, the original idea was for him to
Original.
Original.
Regional.
Yo, where are your pants?
My pants are in your right.
Whoa, whoa,
Hey.
whoa. That was a lot.
What
Yeah.
are they doing there?
Ooh,
Spunkler.
tapioca.
Uh,
So original plan was for him to give him the go to sleep and then unmask himself to reveal CM Punk to the world.
And what happened?
Did not happen.
Not that.
Did not go
That
that
is,
way.
it's not CM Punk. All
Yo,
those-
the way that he even entered the ring, that it did not look like CM Punk at all.
it looked very gimmicky. Very like.
What's his name? Silas Young. said it
Silas
was?
Young.
Yeah, shout out to
Courtney.
Silas Young.
Well,
He was one
that's
of
his
them.
wrestling promotion, by the way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's bullshit. That's
Yeah,
not.
that's
That's not
just-
CM Punk.
Yeah, that was not CM Punk.
I think that was Elite Steve.
Maybe.
Shout out to Taking Bumps.
Got it.
How about a possible
not.
spoiler to the how about a possible spoiler to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view? The Wells Fargo Center in Philly is actually now advertising that there's going to be a few matches going on for the July 14th pay-per-view. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin getting a shot at the Universal Championship versus Seth Rollins. Just as the title will be on the line. A little bit of nothing, a little bit of something. What is this?
Do you guys see Baron Corbin taking the strap off of Seth?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's off Seth, but it's that I see him definitely taking it at some point.
I think I see him taking it off Seth.
Yeah.
Like
Real cheesy.
Yo, that's
Real
major- that's major
fucking
heat.
Cheesy.
and it's gonna be
Major heat,
It's
bro.
gonna be instant heat. It's gonna be instant heat.
Are you kidding me? Everyone would lose their shit. It would
Including
be
us.
amazing.
And then he'll actually follow us.
Nah. Listen, hold on, real quick. Baron Corbin, you blocked us, and I really, really wanted,
This chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
That's how I feel about that.
Fuck you, Baron Corbin. You bald-headed bitch. But you know what would look good on that bald head? This
No,
nice-
whoa. I don't know what was coming next, but I
I
want
was
to
gonna
make
say
sure.
this nice heels, pops, and chair shots hat.
Oh, coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Why we can't zoom in on that? No, we
To
can't.
your mom's bedroom.
Hey. Oh.
Can't zoom in on that.
Or maybe it might be there.
But available now is this $20 shirt.
Hey.
What the way?
Get yours at heelspopchairshots.com exclusively. But back to the news, guys.
We plugged the shirt more than anything else.
Well, it is the biggest thing in wrestling right now.
That's fair.
Backstage news, though.
Money in the Bank, though, or just overall, doesn't really feel like important. I don't know.
So for the last 2 years, they've Money in the Bank for the men's has been a little fucked up.
They actually they set it so that they got rid of it. Whoever won it cashed in, right? I guess Alexa Bliss cashed in the same night.
Well, the women have been successful. Alexa Bliss and Carmella the last 2 years.
Okay.
But we're talking about Baron Corbin lost.
Yeah.
And then last year, Braun Strowman got disqualified.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It didn't go nowhere after that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
so they've kind of shit the bed.
I have heard rumors that they will be. I mean, obviously they're gonna push this guy, right? Whoever wins, but what's to say that it's not gonna be somebody that's a main eventer anyway?
Apparently, there were rumors that they wanted to push Big E to win the Money in the Bank.
But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Good with these rumors that they're planning to push somebody, but make it be somebody that hasn't been pushed. Like, okay, they're gonna push this year's. They're saying, right? Okay, but now they wind up giving it to AJ Styles or somebody. Like, or Roman Reigns wins the Money in the Bank.
Or they can push Ali.
Nah, I don't want to see Ali yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, nah. Let him take his bumps. Let him fight for the IC title.
Or someone like Aleister Black, Lars Sullivan.
I would love that, but that's too early.
See, like there are also two more guys that I don't want to see fighting for the strap. I want to see some time go by. I want to see them build some equity. I want to see the mid card developed, right? Like that's how you develop a mid card.
Right. Yeah,
that shit writes itself. Let those guys fight for positions in the mid card, and let the older guys fight for the heavyweight strap, for the universal strap.
Do we see the Money in the Bank briefcase in SmackDown since the move since we're moving over to Fox?
Are we not gonna have a Raw and a SmackDown? Money in the Bank? It's one.
Yeah, it's one.
Like, it's just one. I think it's like four Raw, 4 SmackDown guys.
Unless imagine the pay-per-view is just 4 Money in the Bank matches.
That would be
the
amazing.
whole pay-per-view should be Money in the Bank matches. There should be a Money in the Bank for the mid cards. There should be Money in the Bank for the top cards. That'd be nuts.
Money in the Bank for announcing positions.
Oh man, someone please take away Michael Cole's
the big dog. Well, they took the big dog away from him.
Man, terrible.
New AEW signings revealed, gentlemen.
AEW. You mean that T-shirt company?
Yeah, they're actually signing wrestlers.
Oh.
To sell more T-shirts. But I guess this coincides with our topic for the day, but we'll get to that. That one hurt.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Do you think once he was done, he told her tranquilo?
Tranquilo. You know who needs to tranquilo?
Ooh, who?
Tama Tonga.
Why? What's up?
Nah,
my boy.
Chill. So Tama Tonga and Enzo have been going back and forth, talking shit, and I love it. Anytime. So Tama Tonga, he will not back down.
No.
And
unless you're Becky Lynch.
That's true. He was like, whoa, chill, and he's really good at like knowing when to stop. But I like that he doesn't. And he keeps going. And him and Enzo are going to continue this back and forth until the end of fucking time.
Let him rock.
Yo, I'm
here for it.
He called Enzo a cancer.
He called Enzo a cancer. And then he said that he doesn't get knocked out by the top rope. He gets knocked out by the bottom
rope. And then Enzo called him a cunt.
Enzo was like, cunt.
I love that bottom rope one though. That was money.
That was rough.
That was money.
Yo,
that was rather raw. Don't you think?
Let's get raw,
baby.
Oh, we fucked that up.
Find it. Hey.
So the A show starts looking like the A show. Right? It starts looking like a better show. But then it starts with Triple H and Seth Rollins.
What is this, 2015 all over again?
Tell them what happened.
So we open up Raw with Triple H and Rollins. And Triple H saying that they're going to determine Seth Rollins' next number one contender for his Universal strap.
When that night? On
Yeah,
Monday night?
On Monday night.
Did they? I don't even remember.
They did because out came the next 6 men that are gonna challenge for the strap. You got Samoa Joe, you got Baron Corbin, you got Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, and The Miz.
All right, they had the
So
two
yeah,
triple
they
threats,
created
right?
the two triple
Yeah.
threats pretty much. And
Yeah.
up first was AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Rey Mysterio. Pretty decent match.
That first triple threat I enjoyed very much so. When's the next time you're gonna get to see AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Rey Mysterio in the same ring at the same time?
Right. And that Styles clash on Rey Mysterio on top of Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
that
that was
pretty
fire.
dope.
Oh, what?
That was fire.
That was money.
That was dope.
Naomi versus Billie Kay went on next, right? AJ Styles won, right?
AJ Styles won the match, yeah, so
Obviously.
he advances.
I
And he-
would have loved to see Samoa Joe win and then go on to defeat Seth and have 2 belts.
I mean,
And he'll be
he's.
Joey 2 belts.
Joey 2 belts.
I mean,
You know,
he's
I
a
think-
U.S. champ
I
right
think
now.
we should just keep running with this 2 belt thing.
I think that I think that he's in the middle of a feud with LeBron, which
With
apparently
LeBron? LeBron, he's out of the playoffs. So
Actually,
it doesn't-
LeBron's in a deep feud with the Lakers right now.
but that stuff's fake.
fuck him.
Fake. Naomi versus Billie Kay with Peyton Royce. Naomi wins in a match that really was not interesting
Yeah,
at
the
all.
Iconics fucking suck.
Really? You think they
fucking
suck?
iconic.
Like they're like shitting all over their gimmick.
Why do you think that?
They're the women's tag champs and they
Oh, but that's
they
not their fault.
No,
get-
they were always gonna be
get,
comical.
they get dumped on.
They
Nah,
weren't gonna be
but-
taken. They weren't supposed to be taken serious. Here's my thing on that. Whenever a heel wins a title on like a roll up or on like a dirty finish or like a not a conclusive win, I feel like you're gonna get the title reign where they kind of shit on them, but they're not the top, the best. They can be beat.
No, but they don't even look dominant.
Yo,
Right, that's what I'm saying. They don't make them
like
look
they're
dominant.
like they're great on the mic, but they're cheesy at the same time.
They're so
and they're chicken
corny.
shit
Yeah,
heels.
yeah. But that's why people enjoy
Which
it.
I
though.
which I enjoy.
They
I
enjoy
it.
the mic work.
And for heels, they barely get their shit in, bro.
They don't they don't get their shit in.
Yeah.
The
that's
matches
timing,
are
though,
kind of sloppy sometimes. And the way they're being written, like they have no chance to fucking they get no wins. How do you keep booking your champions to lose? They did it with the Revival. They did it with Sasha and Bailey. Like they're doing it with these girls. Come on, man. Yo, your champions have
And
to
we-
be valued.
And we wonder why Sasha Banks told the WWE to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, so
Hey,
apparently
so-
Sasha and the WWE are at an impasse. There's no breaking from it. So they might sit her out until the end of her contract. That's the latest rumor.
and they might extend time.
That's why I think Sasha needs to bite the bullet here again and just play.
Dude,
nice,
they were
man,
talking. There
'cause-
was rumors about her winning the women's Money in the Bank.
Yup.
I mean, all that's
And
gonna
being
be
Not
talk.
anymore.
All that's gonna be talk because who knows until we won't know what's really keeping her from coming back. I mean, obviously they're saying that she wants things to change. I guess this isn't the wrong way to go about it because there's other cases, CM Punk, right? Obviously,
Neville.
they take their ball and gone home, right?
A lot of people drew comparisons between this situation and Neville.
I heard Austin had a few things to say too.
Did he? Oh, I didn't catch that.
I don't know if it was recently or not, but I heard he was explaining back with his situation with Brock Lesnar, and he left, how it was a mistake, and he thinks Sasha's still making a mistake.
I think sometimes people get too proud of their character.
Think so?
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like, essentially, you're in a soap opera, right? Like, you play your role, whatever that role may be.
Right.
And so some people get caught up in, like, their ego, and they're like, I have to be champion. Like, I have to be champion. No, you don't have to be shit. You realize that? Like, we're playing pretend. Like, you
But-
don't have to do shit.
But with Sasha, I think it was like a snowball effect, or it was too much negativity rolling on top. So they basically lost the belts, and then they were gonna split up the team. I think it's a lot, though.
My guy. But, like, what is she, 7? Like,
Yeah,
you got to tell a 7-year-old, yo, like, I'm going to separate you and your cousin. You're not going to sleep in the same room. And then you got to deal with the falling out of that. Yo, she's a grown-ass woman working for a company.
true.
You got to, like, come on, man. Like, I understand being a little frustrated and all, but, it makes sense. I mean, you're in charge of your own character. So if you want to do that to yourself, go ahead. I'm sure we've spoken about it when it happened to Neville and when it's happened to other people. But I'm not. I don't see it. I don't think she's as good as everyone thinks she is. Number one.
I don't think she's as good as she thinks she is.
Number two. That. Though, like, she's alright, but like, yo, she botches a lot. She gets hurt a lot. She botches promos.
I think she's been training with Brie Bella.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to like consider when it comes to Sasha and her ability or lack thereof.
My thing is, I'd say it's not that serious for you to sit out that contract with a possibility of him adding on. Yo, not for nothing, Sasha Banks sells merch, and Vince loves that. Vince is about his money. Vince has no problem adding a few months to your contract after you try sitting out just so you can collect a check. Ask Rey Mysterio, ask Neville. You know, like,
that's facts.
These guys, they've suffered the hard way. Learn from their mistakes. Just bite the bullet, finish out that contract while you work, and get your ass to AEW in Jacksonville. We out here.
We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
The Miz versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin.
Match.
There was also another promo with like the laughing chair and shit, but
what the hell is that?
Nah, we finally saw what it was, right?
No damn thing. I don't know.
You want to talk about now?
Yeah,
Bray Wyatt?
So
what do you guys think about
they
Bray
cut to a
Wyatt?
live feed of PBS. And that
Pee-wee's Playhouse?
that creepy old man that's always in my bedroom closet
Doesn't
at
Pee
night
Wee play with himself?
comes out and
What am I sitting between right now? Like, what's wrong with you people?
an Ecuadorian ñaño sandwich.
Ew. That sounds like a whole lot of
This
no.
is a peanut butter and ceviche sandwich.
That's what it smells like. That's exactly what it smells like.
It's
It smells like
authentic scent.
fucking Jesus. Priscilla Kelly, what's up, yo? There's a lot of tuna up in here. All right.
We eat atún.
Shout out to Atún, Ecuadorian tuna.
Not a dong thing. All right,
And by the way, all Ecuadorian fans and our, international fans out there in the world, si no los entienden, tócame el botoncito allá abajo.
¿Cómo que tócame ahí abajo? Espérate,
abajo.
¿cómo
El
que le vas a
botón
tocar
está
ahí abajo?
abajo.
¿Pero abajo dónde?
Oye, el botón está abajo, chico.
Oye, pero ahí no hay ningún botón, mamá huevo.
Oh, una foto era, my bad.
Una-
Dice CC. Y escúchanos en subtítulos. No SAP todavía.
Española estúpida.
Así viene sándwich, man.
¿Qué, mamá?
Fucking cara de sándwich.
But moving on. Yeah, who won that triple threat?
Who cares? Baron Corbin won that triple threat.
That match was ass.
I thought it was great the way he won. Just a cheesy chicken shit heel
Like
kind
he
of
wins every
win.
other
He
match.
pushed Drew McIntyre out of the ring after he hit a Claymore on the Miz and he pins the Miz.
Yeah.
So Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. Yay. Sami Zayn comes out.
Oh, my boy Sammy.
He does his thing.
Shout out to him using the actual reality of him having a great time on his vacation and his time off. He was, I believe, pretty sure. I think you can help me with this. Was he on ENC's podcast?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, it was ENC's, and he explaining to them how he's in the middle. I think it's weeks before WrestleMania, right? A couple weeks.
I think so.
1 or 2 weeks off, and he's explaining to them how he's having such a great time doing those touring things and visiting and
he
traveling.
said that he didn't want to come back.
Yeah, he didn't want to come back yet. And it's like he's cleared. He's just trying to train now, but he just doesn't really miss it. Like,
His mind is not into it.
Damn.
anymore.
so
And
I
it starts
appreciate him
happening.
using that in his promo on Monday. And I appreciate you, like completely walking away from me. Like that, this does never happen. I mean, it's okay because I'm used to it.
Is it because I cut my chicken sandwich in half?
It's like people walk away from me all the time as I speak, and they just come back.
Yo,
and
when you're boring as fuck, I'm gonna leave. You're talking to me about fucking Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin is our favorite. You know what? Shout out to this is for you, Baron Corbin.
A hot beer. Yum. Yeah, nasty. How about this?
You get what you pay for.
Yo, there's frost on this still, and y'all bitches drinking
Oh, that's
Nice.
not Frost.
Moving on. Cedric Alexander makes his Raw debut again.
Otra vez.
And,
This shit is mad slippery, yo.
oh, that's what she said. Shout out to Spunk.
Cedric Alexander had himself a match. I mean, everybody kind of knew going in this was going to be a nice match.
Cesaro as his debut opponent. Wow, that's a big thing, is what she said also.
Whoa. I kind of
You know
wish
what's
Cesaro
also-
had his own entrance music.
Yeah,
Yo, for
How
real.
about that?
I think and I thought that too, but I kind of, and only because I never really liked the Bar when they first paired them off. I always wanted those as singles guys, but now seeing the work that they did,
Yo, they're underrated.
yeah,
They're really underrated. I
As
really like
fuck.
the Bar.
underrated as fuck. I appreciate it a little bit more that he's using it that theme.
Well, I hope
But I would like him to come out with some shit on his own though.
You guys heard rumors of why Cesaro is on Raw, right?
Because he doesn't use rubbers.
Oh, exactly. On Sarah Del Rey.
Oh,
Because she's a
Whoa.
backstage agent for Raw.
oh, nice.
Oh.
They are keeping couples together. That's a thing now.
Is that-
Congrats to that because I mean things can happen.
Where's Aleister Black?
Shout out to Edge and Lita.
Where's
Um,
Where's Zelina Vega?
Smackdown. Yeah, they
That's
just got
right.
moved back to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Cesaro takes the win on this, guys. He goes over.
I'm glad because
So-
Cedric, the Entertainer, is just getting back onto it. He's just getting into the main
He's a
roster.
205 guy.
Yeah, he needs to take his lumps. And yo,
I think he's 206 now.
but Cesaro's no slouch. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you've got to kind of give Cesaro his win too. You know, it's not fair. But the Revival and the Usos have a really interesting moment backstage,
Yes.
right? And I really loved the work that the Usos did here. Man,
They were jabbing up all the tag teams, right?
They were jabbing up all the tag teams. Then the Revival comes out, and the Revival starts cutting like a half promo, and they fell asleep. The Usos fell asleep during the promo.
Yo,
Oh,
for real.
shit.
The
Yeah,
disrespect.
that was great. It was really fucking good. And the Revival, like, they were caught. I don't think they knew that was gonna happen because they were caught like out of character. I feel like they were like, yo,
okay.
yo,
Kind of
wake
like
up.
that Velveteen snap after Buddy Murphy won, I think.
Yeah,
or lost,
yeah.
I think.
Where, like,
After
Buddy
he
Murphy
lost
wasn't
that
in
meeting.
character.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, okay. I feel what you mean. Nice.
But it was a really, really good moment.
Another good moment.
Where the Viking Experience gets its name changed
Again.
to the Viking Raiders.
Again.
To the Viking Warriors. You know that they ended up with the Viking Warriors?
How?
Today.
Today?
Look it up.
Oh, my God.
Look it
I'm
up right
so
now.
sorry.
Viking Warriors.
Oh, no.
Viking
Yeah.
Warriors.
So it was Viking Raiders on Monday, and then the internet was like, "All right, I'll take it. I'm not crazy about Viking Raiders. Why not just War Raiders? Like, what the hell?"
Oh, my God.
Nope.
They're changing it again.
They
folks.
changed it to Viking Warriors. What is going like?
Ladies and gentlemen, the first
fucking-
tag team that name changed every week, at least.
No nice things, yo.
Not
For
one.
what? What are you doing? There is no need. Listen, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
They do
It's-
know that the first three letters
look
of
it up.
warrior.
Vic, you found it?
Yeah, I found it. The first three letters of warrior spell peace and happiness.
I don't understand. Like, yo, all right, you change people's names like left and right. Who cares? But like, you changed their names already 4 times. Like, for what? They were a war machine. Like, yo, for what? This is
They were a war
crazy.
machine.
All right, so Becky Lynch comes out.
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
2 belts Lynch,
Mhm.
comes out, calls out Lacey Evans. Evans comes out.
Says something on the microphone again.
Pow!
Toma.
All right, so Becky Lynch has her match with Alicia Fox. This was, I feel like Alicia Fox, yo, is not as good as she used to be. I think after she came back. First of all, I didn't even realize she was back.
Yo,
This week. This is her.
to
return.
believe that she's been with the company for 11 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
11
And she's still there, Sasha Banks.
Oh.
She's still there.
Yo.
Natalia is still there, Sasha Banks.
And you know who's not there? Arn Anderson.
True.
But he will be at StarCast.
She's like old school
You know who
Joe.
won't be at StarCast?
Taker.
Chris Benoit. So,
They were supposed to tap them.
no!
Just like your mom and Benton.
Diablo.
Chair shots everywhere. Ricochet
versus Robert
Rick
Rude.
Rude. I mean, yeah, Rick Rude's brother.
That wasn't Ron Jeremy?
Robert
I think so.
Rude.
I thought it was.
I liked
Ron
it.
Jeremy.
I thought that shit was funny. I liked the mustache thing. Cool. Let's change his character. Let's make him
Yeah.
more grown up.
Right.
I'm
right.
down with this. Let him be Rick Rude.
We finally got it.
Yo, if you can recycle the Nature Boy, right? You recycle the entire gimmick, the Nature Boy. You put it from one guy to another guy, right? And it flourished both times. Do the same thing with the Rude character, right? Give Bobby Roode the Rick Rude character. Let him fucking run with it.
Right, but he's not really talking to married women.
Nah, but
Okay.
why not?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Right?
We
Rude-
know who's talking to married women.
So Bray Wyatt
Corey Graves, stop
debut. Nah, actually we covered this, right? The Bray Wyatt thing.
Oh
right?
yeah, the big
Yeah, a little too early.
Firefly, Fun House, garbage, Pee Wee Herman, bullshit.
So they all. I want to believe that they gave us something that begins with this shit.
I agree.
And I think he made a comment on Twitter or some shit about it.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
think
like, oh, you
if
missed
anybody can
He's
do
like,
it,
if you saw the ghost or something like that, something about a ghost. And
you gotta
missing
believe
out.
in ghosts to see it. That's kind of how I felt anyway.
if anybody can make it work, it's him.
He didn't do much, but those gloves look like they have
darker
something. Yeah,
character.
they have something to do with the gloves or something. But I'm ready to see what it leads to. I mean,
Take your time. Go
yeah,
ahead.
right?
Go ahead. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Let's see what
It's
happens.
weird, and I'm still like not fully, but I'll.
But so was Broken Matt, right?
disagree. Yeah, I'll
Right.
disagree and commit. Fucking let's see where it goes.
Right. AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin advances to Money in the Bank. Moving on.
Oh my God! Don't even say that.
My
Plan.
God, imagine.
AJ Styles gets the W. I was surprised because I thought Baron Corbin would be the guy.
Does
I
it
didn't
seem
think-
too soon to put AJ
Yep.
Styles and stuff? I think that has something to do with our topic, but yeah, I agree.
Ooh,
I think
interesting.
I don't think we should have gotten this
Is there
match.
is there an interesting
Yeah.
date that Money in the Bank happens?
I think all that plays a role.
Mm,
all of that.
Interesting.
What's more important than Money in the Bank?
Money in my wallet.
That's facts.
Touche.
33
Pero
guys,
dices que
33.
no somos amigos.
Yo, you know what number? You know what's my favorite number?
What?
33.
Do you know how old we're gonna be this year?
33.
33.
33 is a real big number. Like 33 years ago, Jim Crockett, he knows about that. He partnered with Mid-South Wrestling, and they presented the very first ever Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup in New Orleans. And guess what? This
What?
Saturday, they bringing it back. The National Wrestling Alliance Association with the Crockett Foundation will partner with Ring of Honor Wrestling, and we'll be giving you the Crockett Cup this weekend. Finally, Nick Aldis will be defending against Marty Scurll. And we'll also be seeing the NWA National Championship defended by Willie Mack against Colt, our boy Colt Cabana.
Colt
Okay.
Cabana.
That's gonna be something good.
Maybe CM
But
Punk might win.
there's gonna be a battle royal.
Mac wins.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, and I think Aldis drops the title.
Well,
Because Marty Scurll's at the end of his Ring of Honor contract, right?
ooh, that would be a nice way to entice him.
Yep.
I just don't see him fitting there, man. I'm gonna want him to be on being the elite again.
Yeah, I think he will eventually, but I think they.
And what if they do the rematch at Double or Nothing?
Facts.
Oh.
But you know where you'll find that out? On Fight App. Check them out. They're going to give you the live coverage on Saturday, April the 27th. And you can check out the Jim Crockett. You can check out the Crockett Cup. And they're going to have a wild card battle royal to fill in those last final spots for that tournament that's going to be including Flip Gordon and Bandito as a team. War
That's dope.
Kings. Briscoe Brothers, Rock and
I
Roll
love the
Express.
Briscoe brothers, yo.
I think they're shooing. And Villain Enterprise is also going to be on that tournament.
Interesting.
So it's going to be
PCO's doing some really good work.
yeah.
On online, like on social media, he's really putting in the work to put his character over. It's really
it's entertaining, man,
stuff.
to watch somebody at his age do the things he's doing. Shout out to that pal. I was watching on Fight App again. They were showing highlights of the G1 Supercard, And it's just that power bomb, yo, that they did on PCO.
The
to the
God did.
outside?
Oh my God!
PCO, yeah.
Like for him to take that bump,
Yeah.
he's that
And then in one of the videos online, he has Brody break a brick over his back, and then he has another one where they drive a pickup truck over his chest.
It's like the hearse.
Oh
over his
yes,
chest.
that's crazy. That's
yeah,
wild.
and then Aldis had one too, where he drives a baby pickup truck, one like his daughter's little.
No,
pickup
no,
truck.
that was Matt
Oh,
Taven.
that's
Oh,
Matt
that was
Taven.
Matt
That's
Taven.
my boy
yeah,
Matt
Matt
Taven.
Taven. Matt Taven. Yeah.
Shout out to the kingdom.
Matt Taven looks like Nick Aldis. Though.
But let's get ready for Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. We about to smack somebody.
Damn.
Hey, hey. They still showing us
Fix
love?
the Trello, you piece of
Not
shit.
at all, not at all. Cause SmackDown started, guys, and I know we all saw it. We all saw when Shane McMahon opened the show. It's not like we pulled up the Trello right on time. But yeah, he did start the show. What else happened in the show, guys?
He comes out saying, "Who hits someone's father?"
Yo, shout out to that.
He
little,
does. Didn't he hit his own
The
father?
little oxymoron in its own little nutshell, if you say.
Mr. Potato Face over there.
And I grabbed his potato face and it felt good. It just felt great.
I made it into Papa Mahada.
Hey.
Where are his pants?
So I like what they did here. Shades of the old Shane McMahon, right? Back in the 90s, Shane was always running and messing with the top talent, and he wouldn't do it by himself. He'd always make sure he had some kind of backup or somebody to,
Like
you
a
know,
sidekick, yeah.
to be his, do the
dirty
handle his
work.
light work, right?
How
so to
go-
speak.
I think you guys are missing the greater possibility here.
Shane jumping off something, landing on Roman Reigns.
Nah, fuck Roman Reigns. I don't care about this. I'm saying Elias versus The Miz with Shane in Elias's corner. You've got the A-list
for
superstar.
SummerSlam or some shit.
Yeah, you got the A-list superstar fighting WWE Walks with Elias,
Yes,
a
the
superstar
greatest.
in his own
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So they're gonna fight for superstardom. They're gonna fight for Shane.
But-
they're gonna fight.
But how can that
Book
happen
that.
when the Miz is on Raw and Elias is on SmackDown?
Oh, fuck.
Nah, they'll work that out.
Man.
That's a minor detail in the grand scheme of
Right,
fucking
I mean, just
WWE.
ask the war. What are the fucking names again?
War.
They know the answer to that question. But moving on.
Viking.
Those, yeah,
experience?
those guys.
The Ride This Experience?
Right.
Oh, that's
Space
what your mom
Mountain?
calls me.
And the Ride This Experience. It's it's
So
got 2
obviously,
stars on Yelp.
Elias comes out, jumps Roman Reigns. They have a field day with him. I love that they did the sneak away getaway too. Like they just came out and yo, let's get out of here. Okay, he's busy challenging Roman Reigns. Yeah, I'll challenge you for. Okay, asshole, let's get the hell out of here. He's coming right now. Come on. I appreciate that. And then
Kingston.
I cringed.
Xavier Woods.
I cringed and I got nauseous.
And the Big O.
I am here today though. I survived yesterday,
Did
but
you?
we'll get to that. But
Okay.
at this moment of the show, I was nauseous. Kofi Kingston comes out, cuts a promo, and then Xavier Woods comes out and announces himself. And then, yes, for the second week straight, Kevin Owens is still part of the New Day.
Man.
This was fun last week. This wasn't fun yesterday.
No, it's really fun. Trust me.
No.
No. Let's get to it.
No.
It was
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
last week because weren't they in Montreal?
It was more fun this week.
Yeah. So Finn Balor and Andrade get a rematch. Why? Because Andrade, the very smart, intelligent Andrade,
It's banging Charlotte Flair.
and is also returning to SmackDown, and he came to defeat Finn Balor again, right?
50-50
Wrong.
booking.
I understand.
Balor hits that weak ass coup de grace
I get it. It's
and
fine.
wins.
He can get over on Andrade. That's fine. I see why he went over on Raw.
Although I like that Zelina Vega's now being more aggressive in interference.
Yeah.
I like that. Get in the ring, jump from the top rope, do work.
Put people in Hurricane Ranas like me. Like now.
All right, moving on. Kyrie Sane and Paige. Yo, I still don't see where Paige fits in all of this.
Right here. Right now.
You would think she would be their mouthpiece at least.
Mine. Right now.
You see, this is why we can't have nice things.
What are you, Brad Maddox?
Oh my God.
You with your 2-inch killer.
Hey, I'm not a shower. I'm a grower.
I'm sorry to hear that. So, I don't see where
Yeah.
Paige fits in this whole Oscar Kairi Sane.
She's
Try
obviously
it.
like Chubby said, the mouthpiece.
Yeah, but
I would, yeah. She's wearing her
why?
own clothes
And for
street
what?
clothes. Like, yeah, it doesn't. You can't see it work.
She should have been. She should have been at on commentary. You know, talking up Kairi Sane. If that's what she was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
Like
right.
there was no place. Even when she came out, when they walked to the ring, like it was awkward. I don't know. I don't like it.
I feel the same way. There's something wrong. There's something that doesn't add up correctly. But
And now-
you know, I don't have my calculator, so fuck math.
But let's pin the women's champions again, right? So Kairi Sane pins cleanly Peyton Royce.
Yo, fucking disgrace, bro.
Paque. Also, did you notice how bad Sonya Deville is on the mic?
Yeah.
I haven't realized that. I never noticed that.
I have yet to like
It's
anything
because
that
it's her
Sonya's
looks.
done
It's
yet.
her looks.
No,
They
Oh,
get you past
I
that.
stand corrected.
her face doesn't act the way she wants it to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, she doesn't have the face that goes with what she's saying. So like she's reciting lines, but her face isn't saying those lines. You
She
know what I'm
winks
saying?
with her left eye, but then her tongue comes out.
How are you gonna talk about Elite Steve like that?
See your receipt, yo.
So the thing here, I never liked anything Sonya did except for that one moment she had with Asuka on SmackDown. a couple
That
weeks
match?
back. Yeah, that's
was a good
pretty
match.
much the only thing that stands out for me with Sonya.
Chad Gable versus Jinder
Jinder
Mahal.
Mahal is back on SmackDown, back home, where they treated him with respect
Blah blah.
and gold belts, because we can say belt again.
And Chad Gable coming out with the American Alpha theme song, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Until Lars Sullivan fucked him.
Se lo comió vivo.
And then R-Truth runs out and he gets it too. Everybody
So is that Lars Sullivan's first feud?
Yeah,
R-Truth?
R-Truth, it seems
Are we
like.
gonna see that at Money in the Bank?
I'm so excited.
So the Usos
just-
take another nap, I'm assuming.
Oh, I think we took naps.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Flair comes out. She talks about how it's her chance. Blah blah blah.
So they
I
dropped
should
the
have
ball.
the title.
This promo immediately picked off from the last promo that was involved with the Charlotte Becky feud that was putting us to sleep. Immediately, Snoozeville, right? Snooze fest. But I think they took it somewhere when Becky mentioned Bailey and all the other women that don't get chances, right, and opportunities. But then they make her job to Charlotte.
Yeah, I was gonna interrupt you, but then you got there on your own.
Oh
Like
my God.
that would have been a nice place, a nice jumping off point for someone like Ember Moose, for someone like Bailey to come out and be like, "All right, Charlotte, I see you," and then like even if you pull a win out of your ass or roll up or something, you know, you show that Charlotte is someone that could take it out.
I love that direction if they would have gone with it, but my thing maybe they give Charlotte one of the straps on Money in the Bank. Maybe Charlotte wins,
Well,
and then she can feud with Bailey afterwards.
They gotta separate these women.
That's what I'm
bro. You
saying.
gotta
Like, they're
keep
gonna
them on two
make they're
separate
gonna have to
shows already.
split at Money in the Bank. Maybe Charlotte wins.
Like let them stay hot and let them face each other again at Mania, if that. Like
I don't think that's gonna happen. But
I mean,
I mean,
anything is possible, but
I'm done with Charlotte and Becky. I could go without it.
Me too.
Give me Bailey, Charlotte.
But do you guys know that
Bailey,
that
Becky.
Bailey has a 6-2? I mean, not Bailey. I'm sorry. Becky has a 6-2 record against Charlotte.
Really?
6-2.
So it plays into the whole storyline as well. Like,
Mhm.
what do I want to see? 6-2. That's 8
Becky
matches.
said it. She's
That-
like,
I
I
don't
beat you
want-
tons of times.
That's
already.
8 matches. That's fucking like 5 matches too many.
That's like one more match. That's one more game in the NBA playoffs. They could write it if they wanted to.
That's fake.
Motherfucker. It only takes 4 wins to advance. Fucking
In the
needle
game
dick.
7, hello.
No,
You know that thing that
gotta
LeBron always
sweep
plays?
all 7 games.
You know that
And
thing
then
that LeBron always loses? The 7th game thing, whatever.
Yeah, he also
7
has
game
3
thing, whatever.
rings.
Bye-bye, things.
More than the Knicks franchise.
So Charlotte Flair and Bailey jobs. And Bailey jobs. Because, like, you could be like, oh, no, it was 50-50. I don't know. It
was-
felt like
it was-
Bailey took the L. Like,
It was a pretty good match, though.
I saw it for what it was, and they got some spots in that they liked, but at the end of the day, Charlotte winning was just terrible for this. It shit on all potential, and maybe they do it. Maybe they do it further out down the road, but I think they should have done it now.
Let's talk about the moment of the night, shall we?
Yes.
So the New Day and
So I'm
Big
still
O
nauseous.
come out
I'm still nauseous.
What are you fucking pregnant?
versus
I thought-
Shinsuke Nakamura. Right, Shinsuke is gonna face Kofi Kingston.
Oh, still okay. I'm still okay.
Kofi Kingston wins, and then he gets jumped essentially by Rusev and Lana, who's in a suit apparently, which was interesting stuff. So, and Kevin Owens and Xavier Woods were at ringside, so they were on commentary, and
Big
they were.
O.
So
They
anyway,
brought that back. The pancake booth.
yeah, the pancake booth. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And so, Big O gets into the ring during a moment where Nakamura was facing Kofi Kingston, and Kevin Owens saves us.
Well,
With-
it's because Rusev interfered.
Oh, Rusev.
Yeah,
that
Rusev
jerk.
interfered, yeah.
But
So
it doesn't
then-
matter.
Yeah, all of a sudden, my stomach ache went away.
Was it when Kevin Owens hit that sweet chin music?
Woo! So sweet. My
Super
God,
kick
people.
party!
My God. I couldn't stomach it. Like, a second week of Kevin Owens wearing colors? No.
Yuck.
Disgusting.
But aren't we used to this by now, the betrayal?
Yes.
Yeah, he
They
should have seen
go-
it coming.
I mean, hello.
They could have just looked at Jericho for this.
And then out of nowhere, all you hear is,
No, that didn't happen. That's not real. That's not
They
real.
didn't announce at a NXT TakeOver.
Ooh.
I think they said, Johnny
that's all the
Champion.
time we have for you
Aw,
folks this week.
man.
Bullshit.
Johnny
No,
Champion.
that's definitely not all the time we have for you folks, because we have to cover a
This-
war.
This week's topic.
We have a war to settle, folks. Oh, yeah.
Two wallet heavyweights,
Hmm.
Vince McMahon and Tony Khan,
Talk to me.
stepping head to head. And
Ooh,
what
what?
many are talking about
This sounds interesting.
is the fight of the century.
Is it?
AEW versus WWE.
Is it WWE?
More like WWE Shop versus AEW.
AEW shop versus shop zone.
So we're still
Speaking about Shop,
buy our t-shirts,
Hey!
$20. Holla. HeelsPopsChairshots.com/shop to order yours.
Throw a little swag in that
today.
step of yours, man. You gonna look better with the skull on you.
But
Trust
from one
me.
t-shirt company to another. AEW
What are you
is
doing?
setting itself up to rival the conglomerate, the biggest company of them all, WWE, David versus Goliath, right? The indie darlings, Cody Rhodes, who comes from royal lineage, if you really talk about wrestling royalty.
It's like 18 years in the making, right? Since WWE had something a company they can
compete against?
compete. No, at least say they, rival. But
But is this competition?
no,
Is this legitimate competition? AEW hasn't done anything.
the Shop
They had
Zone
one
sells.
show.
The Shop Zone sells more big bobbleheads than their freaking shirts. What are you talking about?
So AEW is not competing with WWE. So who are they competing with?
NXT.
Themselves. Now, see, here's the real thing. I think AEW needs to set themselves up for the between now and the next 4 to 5 years, maybe 10 years even. They need to focus on just worrying about themselves and being establishing themselves as a serious contender that can book great shows with a great following and have selling out arenas and stuff like that first. They can't guarantee that they're going to do that for a Double or Nothing and all these things. Well, I think Double or Nothing sold out, right?
Yeah.
I mean anything after that though, like because there really is no hype for anything else. These first two, okay, they got great promotion. They got all the hype is still here, but what happens 4 or 5 months down the road when people start realizing that this shit is just all it is a up and coming fresh company.
But to that point, right? WWE shouldn't sweat, right? They
Oh,
should not
no.
sweat, except
No.
that it is, right? Starcast is very closely aligned to AEW, all right? Just because of the names and the people that work together, the people that are involved, all right? Undertaker was set to appear at Starcast. Kurt Angle was set to appear
Right.
at Starcast. Both
Right.
of those names were pulled by WWE, right? Case in point number one. A lot of wrestlers now are asking for their release because of what AEW has done, right? So AEW on that front maybe is not competing in terms of like, oh, eyeballs and views, but they're certainly in the mix with talent,
I hear that,
right?
yeah, because they're altering what they're doing, at least, to say the least, right? I guess
Right.
pulling those guys or whatever.
You know, they're putting together a roster. I mean, listen.
I mean, Triple H's Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, you know, and then you have moments where like the WWE kind of lets its guard down, and Triple H's Hall of Fame speech happens, and you're like, oh, all right, they're watching, and they're a lot more nervous than people are thinking, right? There was a point in time where WWE was giving everybody double their contracts, and they were just like, all right, we're gonna pay you this much when your contract is over because we don't want to lose you. They didn't want to lose Sasha Banks, and they were trying to work that back, and they're probably going to stop her from leaving when she does try to leave, when her contract's over, I think in November.
So ultimately now, thinking about it, WWE's at a win-win with Sasha now. Because if I'm Vince McMahon, yeah, she don't want to do business, okay, I'll do my business.
Unfortunately, I would not let Sasha Banks wrestle another match ever again for the rest of her career. And Vince McMahon has that power. He pauses her contract. Her contract does not accumulate any more days. Whenever she does come back, she has to serve the remainder of her contract.
That's hard.
There's nothing you can do about that. You signed the contract. I mean, you can talk about the unfairness of the independent contractor, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. Tonight we're talking about AEW versus NXT.
That was weeks ago.
Or versus WWE, and how really maybe it's not WWE that needs to worry, right? Because WWE is the major soap opera. Like that's the big show that nothing's gonna battle.
No, the big show's Paul White.
Fair point. But
And
NXT is more aligned, you were saying, with what AEW is doing.
Right. I think as far as like talent wise and events, I think it's right there, spot on, hand on hand, because we know that an AEW is nowhere near WWE's.
So a watered down main roster, right? Or a roster that isn't pretty much like it isn't considered main roster material is what you're saying that AEW is.
I mean, AEW has names that like no one knows.
Oh no!
Like
I had it
like
up there.
pull up their roster and you're gonna like look at half of these people
got
and
you.
you're gonna be like, who the fuck are they?
Yeah, their roster, like, while I appreciate the lack of star power on the roster, and they have star power. Listen, you know, Jericho is a stud in his own right. Cody Rhodes has done wonders for himself. So have the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega is a superstar, and they've got names.
Oh, they got names, all right. Kenny Omega right now is going to be the equivalent to AJ Styles, no?
But after that, like, who do they got? You know,
Chris Jericho.
I love, I said Chris Jericho
okay.
already, but so Neville. All right, so we just pulled up their roster, right? We got Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, right? We said those names. Those names are top tier talent.
Expect Adam Page to be a top tier talent for the company, and then I think depending on how big the company gets and how much hype, I guess that's how far he goes, right?
I think Neville will surpass him in that
maybe,
company.
maybe, yeah.
I think they're starting with a feud, right?
Right.
So you know, watch. Neville can outshine him in this match because I personally, Adam Page is good. I don't think he's special. He's a big Texan. In my head, like, that's his stereotype to me.
I would like to see Scorpio Sky break out of SCU eventually. I'm having a lot of fun watching it. Yo, I wish I would have been there, man, for them doing the Times Square skit.
Yeah. So SCU, right? SCU. Daniels, Kazarian,
Joey Janela.
I'll tell you who's a huge future star. Well, I mean, he's already big in his own right. Pentagon Jr.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, the Lucha Brothers.
The Lucha Brothers. Studs. They're probably outside of the top 5. They're the best wrestlers on this roster. And then once we start moving our way down, right? MJF, who's a tremendous heel.
Right,
Maxwell,
you can tell
Jacob
that they're
Friedman.
planning on doing things with
See,
him.
like he's that prime example of All In. When he came out, who the fuck was he? Like,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no idea who he was.
Well, I mean, if you followed MLW, you would know if he did most of his work there. But yeah, people were kind of like, "Who the fuck are you, man?" Like,
Joey Janela's another one. Like,
Yeah. Yo, we got Sema, Lindaman, T-Hawk, Yamamura, Jungle Boy. Again, names that we've heard, but nothing that's like, oh, that moves the needle for me. Jimmy
Sonny
Havoc.
Kiss.
Sonny Kiss might move the needle for some people.
Jimmy Havoc, I feel, is gonna be a bust. Not in AEW though. If he ever was to go, I don't feel that gimmick would work in the E. He's just so. I think they'll look at him and they'll be like, "Nah, you definitely going to 205. You cannot pull this off on Raw." I'm sorry, though.
This
But-
hardcore style that you got.
But maybe AEW, depending what AEW does, you know, I mean. who
Chuck
knows?
Taylor, Trent Beretta, Sammy Guevara, Sonny Kiss, Kip Saban, Nakazawa, Cutler,
Come on.
Allen, Private Party.
So
right?
they
That's
got
what
the
you
cool
talked about.
kids from ROH, basically.
Yeah.
And
So
some names from New Japan.
and then the women's wrestlers are no names that really stand out. Britt Baker, right? Brandy Rhodes, obviously. Penelope Ford, Aja Kong, Sakazaki. Did I say that right? Sakazaki.
Mike
Ray.
Bless you.
Nakazawa. Oh, my bad. That's the guys.
Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose, Allie. Allie is a big one, although she can't act worth a shit. Bea Presley, yo, I'm just saying, and Sadie Gibbs.
I
So-
think the best wrestler on the women's talent on the women's roster, is Britt Baker.
Baby.
Britt Baker
It
for
has to be
sure.
Britt Baker.
Although Priestley is tremendous.
She's
Nyla Rose is an absolute monster. So is Kong. But none of those names do anything for me.
right.
Like I'm not like, oh, I want to see
It's
that.
not exciting.
Right.
Oh, I
Well,
wanna
on
see that.
paper, no. I mean, I remember if AEW is gonna do anything the right way, I'd figure they're gonna be more of a house,
That
like
Kenny
a live
Omega
show, like a live show, versus more of a production. So when we went to ROH, I think you went with us that time too. We sat, we did the floor seats.
I
And
did the
Hammond
floor
did the flip. I don't know if I remember
was
telling
me.
you, it was you. Before we got to the show, I'm like, yo, this show is gonna be catered to the live fans at the arena. So that's a very different show that you get on Raw or SmackDown or NXT, right? Well, no, NXT is kind of the same thing. So you'll see gimmicks that cater to like live shows that they kind of force live fans' reactions and shit for it to work. They're gonna be more of that kind of show. So you look at those names on paper, you're not gonna, and you know, number one, if you don't recognize them, you're not gonna know how good they are until you see the match. So ring quality and match quality is something big that AEW's might have on their side, cause I feel like they know that there's talent.
So, to your point, what does AEW need to do to be considered a legitimate contender to WWE or NXT or even the main roster? Like, what do they have to do?
Get that BA in marketing.
Marketing?
I'm not even lying, cause that is what separates Vince McMahon from everybody.
The what?
Vince McMahon is the genius that he is because he's a genius in marketing. He went to school for marketing, and that's what he did. That's what he learned before anything. So this man is a genius, and he did his shit. I
Yeah,
think
but you're also talking about Tony Khan. Isn't he part owner of the Jaguars?
that's what
And doesn't he own a soccer team in Europe?
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
his soccer team in Europe is really upset at him. Because they feel like this wrestling thing is going to take away from his attention.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's another. That's like a stigma. See that wrestling gets. I think they were doing it with the XFL too. Like people felt a certain type of way because Vince McMahon was running the XFL, and even with people that don't like to come on our shows because they feel a certain type of way, a stigma about podcasts because we speak the truth.
That's how I feel. Exactly.
Oh shit! I think that's just one of those two. But yeah. Bam.
But the fact of the matter is that do you think that AEW has the capability to, in less than a year, be compatible to WWE?
No way.
They need that major talent jump from WWE over to AEW.
I think fans
Do
will
you
try
think
to do
that?
that.
You think so?
I mean, look at Hogan. When Hogan went over to WCW, what was it in '94? I think it put WCW
I think
on
that
the map.
helps. That definitely helps. Jericho's not gonna cut it, like you said earlier.
Dude, Jericho is done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's done. You can get a few good matches out of him, but he's not that cross guy you want. You want somebody else. You would love John Cena, but that's not gonna happen.
No.
But something like that, somebody's name that carries weight. And all it takes, man, is just a couple, the contract to end, or maybe somebody get pissed off and start, requesting releases and shit.
Dude, in all honesty, think about it. Think about what wrestler going over to AEW would make all that noise.
I'll tell you.
No, I have a name.
Spit it out, bitch.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
that's
That's
not
one
my
of 'em.
name, but that's a good
Yo,
one.
that's one of
If
them.
Brock Lesnar crosses over to AEW, that's
big.
that's huge.
What match would Brock Lesnar? Because look at Kenny
Goldberg.
Omega. Look.
They were interested in Goldberg,
They were
right?
Yuck.
or still are.
It's cheap booking. It's like a poor man's rematch, I guess. But that's
But
something
that's
that
something.
they'll do.
That's something. I was not gonna say Brock Lesnar. I thought someone to come out in a hoodie and a mask this weekend would be a better name to show up to an AEW show.
Well, apparently he was number 1 on Tony Khan's list
Who's he?
when he started the AEW.
Some mask
Talk.
guy from like an indie show.
CM Punk was Tony Khan's number 1 pick in what was a conversational draft of who needed to be on AEW's roster.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think still is.
I think that name needs to happen. Could you
I don't think that'll
imagine-
ever be erased from the list.
Could you imagine what CM Punk showing up to Double or Nothing would do? It would legitimize that company so hard.
What about those teases that we've been getting on Being the Elite, where the Young Bucks say that CM Punk won't be the librarian?
I think Being the Elite trolls hard.
Yeah, nah.
And I think Being the Elite will play a big role in AEW's stories, as it already has with Brandy and who is it that she's fighting again?
Well, she's not fighting. I don't think she's fighting anybody at Double or Nothing, but she already has she's fighting what's her Ali at the Rise for the Fallen.
Yeah,
or
so
something like
that that pay per view is already being booked on Being the Elite. But what was I gonna say?
That's the thing, yo. AEW has this opportunity to build some really, really interesting television if they use Being the Elite as their main storyline driver.
That's all they have
And
right
then
now.
they use an hour or two of TV time to put on matches. And you give the storyline people, the creatives, their bit of juice when they see Being the Elite. You give the people that like their wrestling, you give them their shit. When they watch the show, you kind of build that like underground grassroots kind of following, which and they have a strong following, let's be honest. And then you get the one. You got to get a name. You got to get a big name, big name. I mean, if you get more than one, that's tremendous. But you got to get the one huge name. You know, it's another pair of names that actually I don't see happening, but would make a splash.
Who?
Enzo and Cass.
Oh.
No, but weren't they just banned
they
from ROH apparently?
Nah, they're signed to ROH, man. That's just
No,
weird.
it didn't happen.
Oh,
they didn't
man.
sign.
Oh, they didn't sign.
No.
I
Those
think
scumbags.
I
Well,
that
think,
was part
they're
of
busy
the
going
thing
to
with
titles
Tama
and
Tonga,
shit.
yeah.
And
bro.
fucking,
I think Ring of Honor is ashamed of what happened at the G1
they should
Supercard.
be. They should be, because you inked those contracts before you let anybody step between those barricades and jump into the ring and get anything of camera time.
They were criticized bad. Bro. That was bad publicity.
It
was bad publicity, bro.
this should open up the floodgates
and
for him
they,
in AEW.
and they
right
took
now,
the spotlight off of God.
New Japan should be pissed. They should, because that's embarrassing.
And now you got God carrying around the ROH tag belts.
Throwing that shit around like it's a piece of meat.
First of all, Ring of Honor.
This chance to apologize
They don't gotta apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. That show, I mean, although the show was lackluster on the Ring of Honor side, fuck you. You pay for tickets, eat shit. All right, number one. Number two, Enzo and Cass, their names. You bring names. You bring names to bring legitimacy. You bring eyeballs. That shit was interesting, and it made everybody talk about it. You gotta give them.
But you signed.
But isn't Ring of Honor more of the wrestling aspect? Like, isn't that their main focal point, the wrestling,
the live
and not
show.
the entertainment?
They're a live show. They're a match quality show.
Like
They're not heavy on storyline.
Like they give you these dream matches.
So this war can easily, this comparison with AEW can easily go. They could slide into a battle between ROH, AEW, and NXT. That could be the thing. If anything, within the next one or 2 years, like you said.
I think AEW is gonna start off against like Impact and ROH.
I think that's a good way to start.
Like the way that you see Impact is what we're gonna see with AEW.
They would need to survive that storm, and it would be the first battle, I guess, right? Their first test. Survive or compete with ROH and Impact first. First Impact being, I guess, because Impact is.
I mean, the only difference with AEW is that you got a multi-billionaire. Like this man has more money than Vince. So
but he's not gonna dump his whole pocket into this project. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
like
that's what's gonna take.
Then that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. But AAF showed us that people will dump money into a failing fucking sinking ship, right? This the American Alliance or the Alliance
American Alliance Football.
I don't know what that is. Like
it's
I
nothing.
just watch XFL.
Yo,
it's nothing.
I don't even know what
it doesn't exist.
I can't wait for XFL fantasy football
Hey,
on Yahoo.
Hey, actually, we'll have it right here. Fantasy XFL fantasy football. Nah, trash. I'm not doing that.
What's the buy-in for that league? $20?
No,
Nah.
we'll pay you $20 to not.
But you know what is $20?
Woo!
A t-shirt. Buy the t-shirt.
Comprame la camiseta.
Swag.
All right, we got these t-shirts right here, poppies.
Buy two and you get Vic the Villain for free.
Hey.
You can return them.
That's a good deal.
Sácalo.
That's a good deal. Don't listen to them. That's a good deal. Hey, we out here. But that's all the time we have for you folks this week.
No.
We still don't give a damn where you get your fix from.
What?
We know you're getting it. And now you're getting it on YouTube live every Wednesday, except for this Wednesday. Every Wednesday. But yeah, pretty chubby. Why don't you tell them what they could do on Apple for us?
So on Apple Podcast, gotta scroll down. See those 5 little stars? Click on those 5 stars. Write a nice little review. And if we like your little review, you can still go fuck yourself.
That's offensive.
And if you give us 5 stars, then I'll finally give your mother back her 5 calzones.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Be sure to watch for the Crockett Cup this weekend on Saturday, April the 27th on Fight app. 10 count to 10.
5 centavitos de felicidad.